you. I'm Maya.
I'm Jordan.
And this is Wildcard. No, not turn up. No, this is not a turn up segment. But, this is actually something
a little bit more serious.
Yeah, we're gonna call Up Close and Personal, where we just want to have a little discussion with each other and also with you. Please comment if you have any thing to say about what we're discussing.
Ignore that ding; it didn't really exist.
You did not hear the ding.
Probably was my phone, if I'm honest.
So yeah, we will be talking about mental health today. It's something that really hits home with me and Jordan. That will also tie into some body positivity. If you viewed our spoken word video, which I hope you did, it's amazing. That kind of explains some things that we have went through, but I think we're going to go a little more in depth with this. And like I said, please comment and let us know if this is helpful to you. If you want us to discuss anything else when it comes to serious discussion, just let us know. Okay, so
just a little more I wanted to add on to it. Yeah. This is gonna be like a conversation. You guys are you're going to be able to see like pretty much what we do when it's just us, like our one-on-one conversation. So if exactly. So if we're not looking at the camera as much, it's not because we don't want you guys to be a part of the conversation. It's just that after a while, it's going to start feeling like it's just us talking. So if I'm looking at her, it's because I love her. And that's why I'm listening. And keeping eye contact.
Vice versa.
And this is Sam, everybody. She gave me this bear for Valentine's Day. So.
I did. And we went on a date that day. It was good.
Okay.
It was a good day.
But yes. Okay, now we're going to get seriousness.
Brownie face. Okay, so
where do you want to lead off?
So start from where you realized you kind of have an issue. You have something you need to work on.
So I never went to the hospital and figured out or anything if it was, but I have a grandma. Her name is Nona. That's what we call her. And our whole life she's had bipolar, pretty severe bipolar as well. So she has medicine and everything, and she has to take this regularly in order to keep up with it. And we've always known her as being, she's a bubbly, she's great, she's wonderful to be around. But she always just tells us that she has these moods, and the moods are so overwhelming that it kind of stops all of the person that you know before. They kind of just aren't there within that moment. And it's just kind of been a disorder that she's dealt with her whole life. But she also hates taking the medicine, and she always explains it to us it changes you when you're taking the medicine. It mellows you down. And it kind of just makes you...
like autopilot.
Yeah, like monotone. Yeah. She hates it. She says she never feels like herself. And she was also explaining how the medicine can lead towards, depression and all that stuff. So, I've always kind of been surrounded by the mental disorder. Right. But I don't think I started to feel it until probably, high school. Yeah. Maybe a little bit in middle school, but not really anything that you didn't think you were just, an emo kid who was trying to keep with the trend. But it was high school because I was one of those kids that never wanted to go to high school. I was not looking forward to it. I never once said, I just can't wait for a high school experience. I was going in already dreading it. Plus, I didn't have that many friends. And then the friends that I did have, I had a best friend for 10 years or whatever. But we completely stopped being friends in freshman year. Yeah. So I was going in feeling by myself and feeling like I had nobody around me, which of course makes you more anxious if you're going to this really big, huge campus and just feels overwhelming. And
also, fun fact, we went to the same school, pretty much went through the same thing, and we didn't become friends until after we graduated.
Yeah, we had, which was just...
Me and her sister did plays together, and I kind of knew her, but we didn't know each other. And it was just we really wish we would have had each other back then, but we always said that we probably wouldn't really be friends because we're completely different people than we are now.
I don't think that, I feel like the time that we met was perfect because you've already gone through all of your, I feel like your before, you've gone through all your sad, you've gone through all that stuff, and now you're in a place to where even if we go through sad moments, we feel like we can benefit from the knowledge or, all the stuff that you've gone through in your past. You can give me advice based off of what you were doing then, to where if I feel like we were friends in high school, it would have been way more I feel so sad too.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it would have been...
Let's just say you're being sad.
We're just sitting together sad, and I just don't think that would have been beneficial. Yeah. But, the reason why she says it kind of ties in with our body positivity and stuff is because in high school, the weight, of course, was a huge deal, and we went to a school with not nice people. I feel like everybody says that, But this school just was not nice. There wasn't nice people that you could find, and if you did find a few nice people, they're kind of already set up, because we grew up in Pasadena. Pasadena doesn't seem like it would be a small town, but for whatever reason, it's tiny. To where, like, everybody that's in high school has known each other since elementary. And they already have their friends, so it's not really a, like, build friendships type of place. It's like you have built-in friendships already, and you kind of stick with it throughout the 4 years. So if you come in there like me and you don't have much people, you're kind of stuck like that for 4 years, unless you're just extremely outgoing and you're in every club, and that just... And I can't blame it on just the school. Like, it was me too. Since I was in such a bad depression, I couldn't find myself reaching out and trying to go join clubs or, like, anything else. And that, of course, like, I have to take responsibility for the things that I was doing too. Like, if I had put in more effort, it probably would have been a better experience. But I didn't want to be there, and my motivation level was extremely down, and it was hard to bring yourself out of it. Freshman year, I honestly can say the only reason why I survived was because I was going to school with Kayla still, which is my sister. And my sister's amazing. She's the kind of person where, like, if there's something going wrong, instead of you sitting down to talk to you about it, she tries to distract you. She tries to make you happy and all that stuff. So she was very popular in school. She was in band, and she was in the plays, and she just had a lot of people to hang out with. So even if I wasn't necessarily their friends, I would just go and sit with them. And I was kind of like their little sister. Like, I grew up with all of her friends since I was tiny, since I was kindergarten. So they all know me. They call me JoJo. Like, they take care of me, but it was like, they're not my friends. So going over there wasn't like you're going and chilling on the couch with you or anything. Like, they're just, I feel protected when I'm with them. But I still always felt like there was like a wall between us. Like, I couldn't sit down and have a conversation and feel good with them. I was still always sad, and I always kind of felt alone. But yeah, I would go and sit with Kayla, and she would just try and talk to me and make me feel better. And then sophomore year she's gone, she graduated, she left me all by myself. And I just found myself, like, I would ditch school, and I don't ditch school. I liked school, I liked actually doing the work and all that stuff, but I hated just the aspect of going and talking to anybody. So, like, I would literally, there was a teacher in there, I won't name his name because he might get fired, but he would just let me sit in the back of his class. Like, he had this back room, like his storage room, and I would sit back there and I would just read all day.
He was a good teacher.
Yeah, he was. You know who you are. But he would let me just sit back there all day, and I would just sit back there, or I would wake up for school, like, we'd have to get up at 6 or whatever, and I would immediately start to cry. Like, it was just immediate. There would be no, like, it was anxiety, like, level. And I would tell my parents, and my parents are wonderful people, but they do not understand. My mom was very academic when she was in high school, so she didn't necessarily care about the social aspect. She did what she needed to do. She would, had very good grades, and then she'd go home. And my dad was very popular. So he doesn't understand, coming from an aspect of, his answer to everything is, you should go and make friends. Do what you need to do to go make friends. And that is an answer for somebody that might be very social, but I'm like my mother, and I'm antisocial. It seems weird that could be, because, like, I can say that when I know these people, I have a personality that might not come off that way, but my first instinct is to, like, go into my shell, or to go away. Like, I might not be the first person who speaks, so it comes off hard.
So was freshman year where you realized, like, okay, I'm not okay? Is that, like,
freshman year was probably like I was realizing that I was having a hard time. And I didn't know what to put towards it. It probably wasn't until sophomore year, after my sister was gone, where I realized it.
Okay.
Because I started getting counseling freshman year.
Okay.
Like, halfway through. The school that we went to had a counseling program where you can talk to a counselor and stuff. Like a therapist. It wasn't necessarily a counselor, because I feel like they might mistake it. It was a therapist. And you can go, you'd have a little session set up. I usually went during math class. They asked what class I wanted to miss. That was always mine. It would be like once a week. And you would go and you would talk to them, and they tried to, like, talk you through things. And I feel like freshman year was the year where I kind of started to understand a little bit more, but it wasn't until sophomore year where I realized I have to do something about it. Instead of me just seeing the therapist, like, I realized that was helpful, but I felt, for me, the best opportunity was to leave public school. Because I ended up being homeschooled. I was online for 2.5 years. So I finished the first half of sophomore year, and then the last half I was doing online already. And I can honestly say that was probably the best decision I've ever made. I was able to do my academics and have really great grades, but I didn't necessarily have to have the social aspect. And for me, the social aspect came in for softball. I was doing softball for 7 years. So I had a team and I had my social life that I needed, to where I was able to balance it out without having to feel like I was pressured into having to be social at school. Cause for me, I don't think that was what it needed to be. I didn't want built-in friends. I wanted to make my friends more organically. Yeah, exactly. So that's like the beginning of how it went. At least for me, I feel like that's when I first noticed things were starting to get a little abnormal for me.
Right.
Yeah. You?
For me, we're such yin and yang, because I have such, speaking of that, we have matching tattoos, if you can see. Because mine was the same, but also different. Like, I felt it as soon as I hit 6th grade. Because kids are vicious creatures. And I don't know why, but like, in middle school, people were so mean to me. And I was always trying to be so nice and relatable. And I'm an aspiring actress, and I also sing. So it's like, I put myself out there, you know. I ran for student body president. I was in the talent shows, and you know, when people would have like little dance parties in the gym, I would do that. But like every single time I would put myself out there, people would put me down, and people would call me names and just do really terrible things to me. So it's like, from there, I'm just like, that's when I knew that I was different. And it sucks that I knew I was different because of my body. You know what I mean? Kind of something you can't really help. I mean, you can exercise, get healthy, blah, blah, blah. But if you are meant to be big, I'm sorry, boo, you're going to be big. Whether it's a big ass, big boobies, a big waist, big hips, I don't know.
Well, even outside of that, even if you're not meant to be big and you're just big, it sucks that that's the first thing that somebody will always speak about. That people have, or that it will keep you from having a friend. Yeah. Like, somebody will not be your friend because of the size that you are. And for me, like, okay, that's your prerogative. If that's truly how you feel, like, I don't want you in my life anyways. But it sucks that most likely, most people that you come across is going to feel that way. Right. So you end up not having that many people because, you know, you're big, so I'm not your friend anymore. Right. I don't want to be around you.
Or they would try to act like my friend because I was funny. I had that. And then they would say really terrible things about me behind my back. And I've been told so, like, just vicious things from those middle schoolers. Like, I was going to die. I'm going to get heart disease. You're walking diabetes. Like, all this shit. Like, your mother should be ashamed of you, you know, and all these crazy things. And I was just like, wow, so no matter what I do, just because I'm fat means that I'm not going to have any friends. Cool. So that was very toxic for me, and I really took that in. And I would literally wake up like 2 hours before I had to go to school. About 2 hours before I had to go to school to like make sure my hair was right, make sure that I had perfect clothes, you know, that maybe, oh, this is kind of like, you know, what the kids are wearing at school, so I'll wear this and see, you know, maybe they'll like that. Or I used to sneak makeup in the bathroom of like middle school, like right before class, I'll put on makeup and lipstick so I could be prettier. And it's just like nothing was working. So I really felt like I was just in a bubble, and I had to accept that. And finally in 8th grade, I actually started to get some friends because I was in band, and I did become student body president, and that really built up my confidence. But I still felt like, okay, even though people are reacting nicely to you doesn't mean they're your friends. Like, I learned that so early. And then when I finally got to high school, I felt, okay, I went through hell in middle school, so I feel like now I have a second chance to you know, be the person I wanted to be in middle school. So I still got up early, did my hair, you know, wore lipstick, and it was a bit better for me. I still had a hard time, but it was a bit better for me because finally I had that outlet. I had the choir program. I had the theater program. Shout out to Miss Seatall. You're amazing. She really built up my confidence, and like, it wasn't about, oh, you're fat. It's like, oh, you can sing. Oh, you're talented. So finally something came about. It doesn't mean everything was just like butterflies, you know, and rainbows for me in high school, because it definitely weren't. People were still mean. I didn't have name brand things, you know, I didn't have Chucks or I didn't have Toms, whatever the new shoe was, I didn't have that. I had Payless shoes. I was still getting, you know, shit about that. And if people did see me still in the place, like they would, you know, still make fun of me. But I felt like I had a tougher skin when it came to that. And plus I had my own little group. Shout out to Shantae. She's in Jersey now, but she was my freshman best friend. Shout out to Lily. Yeah, I had a really good amount of friends. Not even like a big amount, but just like our group was good. And we like uplifted each other. If we had issues, we talked about it. So I'm glad I had that group of friends to help me out in PHS, because it was really, it was still a hard time. I had like an emotional breakdown in 11th grade because for some reason I took this AP European history class thinking I would understand that shit. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it at all. We had like a quiz every day, and I feel like this is kind of where my anxiety came from, because I've had depression episodes. I've been real sad. I've wanted to, you know, I've had suicidal thoughts, but I feel like now I realize, now that I'm older, that it was more of an anxiety thing. Having a quiz every day, stressing out about the SATs and college, and you got to do this and you got to do that, and my counselor wasn't helpful at all. I'm sorry to say, and I don't feel like I was set up for my future as well as I feel like I should have. Yeah. So that, I feel like that's where a lot of the anxiety came from. And I just realized that, okay, I'm worrying. Makes sense, everybody worries, but I'm worrying too much. Like, I'm having bad dreams. I'm thinking of awful scenarios of whatever might go on in my life, you know, in my head before I go to bed. Therefore, I'm having bad dreams. And I would tell, you know, family members, my mom, and everybody just thinks, you're okay, you're just young, it'll pass, and oh, it's okay, you just need to take care of yourself, you just need to work out. And it's just like, yeah, even if I did, these things still go on, you know, for people who have bipolar disorder or people who have depression, anxiety, manic depression, you're still gonna not feel good, even if you are trying to make yourself feel good. It's a thing. I feel like it's more acceptance of the thing that helps you, because the more you deny it is how it gets worse. You know what I mean? Like, we cannot deny that depression is real. That's how people end up dying. We cannot deny that anxiety is real, or PTSD. You know, like, we have to realize that these are real conditions and that we need to support anybody who is suffering with that as much as we can, so we can stop people from taking their lives, because it's really bad right now. But I just, it was something that I just really was mad about. You know, like, why is it that I have to go through this? You know, why is it that I have to go through this? And not only that, but it's because of my body. You know what I mean? And then that stems to eating disorders and starving yourself and making yourself, you know, want to throw up, because now society is telling you this is the way you got to be, and if you are this way, then you'll be happy. If you're not this way, you're going to live a terrible life, not only just with your health issues, but you're not going to get a boyfriend, people are not going to like you. It's just like, why is all this linked to my body shape? Like, I wish we were so just not as critical, you know, not as shaming. Like, it's so judgmental is the word I was trying to say. It's so judgmental, and I don't feel like people understand. Even family members, when they're just like, oh, here comes the big girl, here comes the pudgy one, and like pinching your fat, like, that's not helpful, that's not cool, don't touch me. Like, it's stop teasing people in that way, because you take that with you everywhere. You go, you take it with you. No matter if you're dating or if you're just out and about with people. I still, to this day, feel like people are talking about me. Like, if I go out, if I go out and I'm wearing shorts, and, you know, I just now, like a year ago, felt, you know, brave enough to wear shorts in public, even though I still get, like, the honking of, like, men in cars. I feel like it's an anxiety thing. Sure. It's such an anxiety thing. I feel like people are talking about me. I feel like if I'm walking by and somebody turns their head, it must be me. You know what I mean?
I don't know if mine goes so much to size, but I have anxiety with, like, my personality. Okay. Because I feel like most of the time people might think I come off cold. Right. Or, like, shut off or whatever. So whenever I'm with even my friends or just, like, around people that I consider to be important to me, I feel like I have that anxiety for like, oh, maybe they really don't like me. Like, are they hanging out with me because like I'm with Malaya, or I'm with Dallas, or I'm with whoever it might be, or like, oh, I wonder if like, given the opportunity, would they not want to be my friend? Like, there's always that a little bit of like a voice in the back of your head.
Oh yeah.
That talks you, and then it starts to snowball.
Yeah.
So it starts to snowball down, and then you're kind of sitting there, and you're just like, okay, well, like maybe I should just try to talk more. And you try to talk more, it comes off like just not natural, or I start to distance myself, and then you're even more cold. It's all types of
it's a snowball effect. It's just like thing after thing after thing, and then you feel hopeless, and you want for all of it to stop, but you don't want to die. You know, like you just wish things were better. You wish things were okay. And now we're finally, I think we just said this in hookah, we kind of have like a better understanding of the thing that we're going through. And I feel like I said yesterday, we're at hookah, I said yesterday, I'm feeling better than ever, which I am. I'm giving this, I have this great platform with my friends, the Reshoots, shout out to the Reshoots. And we are doing very well. And it's a way for all of us to be creative because we're all so talented. And, you know, sometimes guys, especially if you're going through like a mental thing, you can't just go home, you know, work home if you're not doing anything towards your career. Please have a platform. Please write, sing, dance, whatever you need to do, whatever makes you happy. Yeah, you got to do it. And I'm so glad that we have this creative outlet to let you guys know, you know, that you're not alone. Everybody goes through this. I just want to talk about body positivity a little bit before we wrap up.
More so just I would say where we've come since then. Because, I mean, if you've seen the poetry thing, like we wrote a poem a lot about it. Yeah. Like, we know our size, we know how we look to other people, but for myself at least, I've come to a place to where I don't need somebody else to tell me. I can judge myself, or I'm going to change myself. If you tell me, oh, you're fat, that's not going to do anything but make me feel bad. Like, I feel like those are comments that you keep to yourself. Yeah. Like, they don't need to be spoken out loud because it's a relative, like, people we see it, we know it, like, it exists, it's a physical trait that you see. Right. To where the only thing that's going to make it better is if somebody comes to you, they're like, oh, you know, like, criticism, like, a good criticism, to where, like, hey, I'm about to start working out, I was wondering if you wanted to. Yeah. Or just a good, coming from a good place in the heart, because then that's a difference. Yeah. I was doing a 100-day thing. I feel like this is what comes to the body positivity, because my body positivity literally didn't come until a few months ago. When I started the 100-day challenge, I worked out for 100 days straight. I did a diet. Like, it was hardcore. Like, I was going really hard into it. And I feel like my body positivity, all of the confidence that I felt like I needed, didn't come until that. Right. Because I actually felt good in my skin. Maybe the pounds weren't shedding super, super fast, or there wasn't a noticeable difference. But inside of my body, I felt more confident. Like, I felt like I could ascend a flight of stairs and I could catch my breath. Like, I felt like it was just a place that I finally just felt like, even if somebody came up to me and said, you're fat, I would be able to respond with, but I'm doing something about it. Yeah. To where it didn't matter. Yeah. So, it fluctuates. I feel like some days I don't feel that great. Some days I feel amazing. Definitely. For body positivity, I say it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. It only matters how you feel. Yeah, exactly. I'm very passionate about it because it's definitely something that fueled my life, really hating my body and wanting to hurt my body, whether it was cutting or whether it was starving myself. Like, it's just like I took it out on my body, which is still me, who I am. And I used to say, like, my body isn't who I am, but yes, it is. My body is who I am. And I remember I had like my last kind of big breakdown about my body was like in a bathroom at a dorm in AMDA with my roommate Jonathan, and I was just yelling and screaming, and I was just like, why can't I just love myself? Like, why is that so difficult? And I really felt like I found myself in college, because that's when I started wearing my natural hair. That's when I started I still took care of myself, but I started to realize that I have to make the choice to be happy with who I am. Yeah. Whether it's I lose 100 pounds, whether if I gain 50, I have to be okay with myself, because I only have one me. Yeah. You know, whatever the case may be. Still take care of yourself. And I really
just want to say I hate the fact that when you see somebody on Facebook and they're taking pictures and they're happy with themselves and they're in their bikinis, like people want to come and be like, oh, so you're proud of being obese, you're proud of being blah blah blah, unhealthy.
Story.
You don't know what the fuck people are doing with their lives. You don't know if they have diabetes. They could be far from it. You don't know anybody's body, so don't judge them. And it's really kind of messed up if you judge somebody for because they feel good about themselves.
Yeah,
that's janky. Do not judge people if they feel good about themselves. It doesn't matter what they look like. If that's what they want to do, they want to, go to the beach in a 2-piece, even though they got a little tummy and a little booty, like whatever. It's okay. Let them be. And so I just realized that I just have to love myself. I know who I am. I know my values. I am confident in who I am. I like the way I look. Of course, I want to stay healthy, and of course, I have some areas where I would like to, tighten and tone like we all do. But that doesn't mean I'm ugly. That doesn't mean I'm not beautiful. It doesn't mean that I am worthless.
Absolutely.
I am whatever I don't like, I can fix, and whatever I don't feel like is fixable, or if I know it's going to take some time for me to fix, like losing 100 pounds or whatever. Okay, it's a work in progress. I'm still going to work on myself, and within that time, I will love myself, because I feel like that's where body dysmorphia.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I said it right. I don't know. That's how it goes.
Dysphoria.
Dysmorphia. I think I said it right.
What are those?
Thank you, Demi. Anyway, dysmorphia. Okay, that was it. Dysmorphia.
We have our dictionary off to the
Yes, thank you. That's why people are going to the plastic surgeon almost every day, getting lip injections and booty injections. Like, just love yourself, guys.
Yep.
Don't let society tell you what is the standard. You set the standard for yourself. And I mean that. And I mean that for women, and I mean that for men. You do not have to have muscles. You do not have to have a 9-pack like Batman. You don't have to have the super great calves. Chunky men are beautiful. Not so chunky men are beautiful. Skinny men are beautiful. Like, really, body positivity goes for everybody. And once again, before we wrap up, mental health is a serious issue. Friends and family, if your loved one says that they're going through something, please believe them. Please don't say, no, you're not, you're just fat and you're not working out. Or, no, you're not, you're not working towards your goal. No, you're not, blah, blah, blah. Because even if somebody is successful, depression is still real and it hits them.
I don't know the numbers and all that stuff, but I'm sure we'll link numbers to some hotlines.
Yeah, we'll link it in the bio. Below. Yeah, suicide hotline.
Call.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. I just feel like that's, do what you have to do in order to make sure that you guys are feeling good. Talk to people. If you feel like your parents or your friends won't listen, there are definitely numbers, and
Wildcard will listen.
Yeah.
Comment and let
subscribe
us know.
Too.
Yeah, subscribe to the reshoots.
Yeah,
subscribe to reshoots. You will see us on the playlist, and you can press the notification button so you guys will see where we have new videos and new content. Yeah. And please comment. Like I said, Wildcard, we will do pretty much whatever you guys ask us to do. We really want we want your suggestions and your feedback. And is that it, John?
I think that's it, you guys.
Yeah. Also, we have a Snapchat, guys. Woo!
We can do our social medias finally.
Yes.
We never do it.
If you have seen the spoken word event, it is our Snapchat is right after that. But right now, since you're watching us, our Snapchat is Are You Bored? Spell the O and U with the 0.
Yes. It sounds
Why
confusing.
0U?
Oh, would you like to know the reason why? Yeah. Every other thing is taken.
Yeah, Wildcard is taken. Stay Weird, Stay Wild is taken.
That was
Stay
original.
Weird dash Wild is taken.
Weird.
Stay dash Wild. Weird.
Wild.
It's all taken,
Wild. It was just.
Give us back our Snapchat names. We're just kidding.
Okay, but yeah, guys, there. We're also on the Facebook and Instagram for the reshoots.
Twitter. Yeah.
We're on the Twitter with the reshoots as well. Yes. But our own separate, our thing is the Snapchat, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, so look at us there and you guys will see us. But until next time,
stay weird.
And stay wild.
Bye, guys.